So taking a look at page 6 for the examples, make sure that you have this titled Key Features of Functions Part 3, and you have a page number here. So the directions are to describe the end behavior of the following functions. And make sure you have number 1 written down. It is y equals x to the 4th minus 3x squared. And I'm going to show you how to do this one in your calculator. So I'm going to pull it up over here. And at the bottom of the screen, it shows you my key press history. So if you get lost on what keys I pressed, you can pause the video and then just catch up with the bottom. Okay, so anytime we want to graph anything, that's going to go into y equals x to the 4th power. The x key is to the right of alpha. We need to make that 4 an exponent, so I call it the to the button. It's above the division symbol. And then the 4th, so 4. And as you can see on the y equals screen, the 4 is an exponent. To get out of the exponent spot, you have to hit the right arrow. And then minus 3x next to the alpha. Squared has its own button. It's diagonally up from the 7. To see what the graph looks like, we're going to hit graph. Look something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch that graph next to number 1 on the PowerPoint. You don't have to sketch that graph in your notes since you should have it on your calculator to look at. That way we can talk about what the end behavior is. Okay, so for number 1, it looks something like this. Looks kind of like a curvy W. So when I do end behavior, and for the most part, we always talk about the left side first. So the left side is as x goes towards negative infinity. So on the left-hand side, as x goes to negative infinity, comma, where does y go towards? This problem calls it y, so you're going to call it y in your answer. Where does this arrow point towards? In the y values, that would point up towards positive infinity. The second thing we're going to look at is the right-hand side. So as x goes towards, the right-hand side is positive infinity, comma, where do your y values go? That side of the arrow also points up towards positive infinity. And it's that simple. I will not be putting the rest of these problems into your calculator, but you need to be trying to put them in your calculator as we go along. So take a look at number 2. Type it into your calculator. Y equals the x button to the 5th, or 5. Then you have to hit over to get out of the exponent spot. Minus 4x, and then to the 3rd. Once you hit graph, it looks like this. The one thing you do have to notice is on your calculator, It does not show the arrows because you could change this, how big your screen is on your calculator. So just be aware that the arrows would be on the end. Okay, let's take a look at the left-hand side of your graph. The left-hand side is as x goes to negative infinity, comma. Which way does your arrow point? In this case, the arrow points down towards negative infinity. So y goes to negative infinity. On the right-hand side, so let's talk about as x goes towards positive infinity. Which way does that arrow point? Up to when y equals, and that should be a positive infinity, not a negative infinity.